Your Royal Highness, it's fantastic to see you back home in South Africa. Your foundation obviously is a core theme of what is, part of you in terms of your...
Do you know what happened to Princess Charlene of Monaco? Have you heard about it? Her life has taken a drastic turn, marked by rumors of a cheating scandal and whispers of her husband's alleged affairs. Her life has become more turbulent than ever before. During the time that the entire world was watching the fairy tale marriage between Charlene and Prince Albert fall apart, shocking revelations came to light, and they shook the very foundation of Monaco's royal family. Nevertheless, how did everything go so wrong for the princess who appeared to have everything at one point? Princess Charlene of Monaco, a former Olympic swimmer from South Africa, tied the knot with Prince Albert II, the reigning monarch of the Principality of Monaco, which is a small but glamorous country, in July of 2011. The entire world watched in awe as this royal couple tied the knot. The event was a spectacular show that brought to mind the weddings of the royal family in the past. The union of a prince and a commoner captivated the imaginations of millions of people who witnessed it. Charlene stepped into the role that Grace Kelly, Albert's mother, had once famously occupied, and many people saw the wedding as a symbol of the continuation of Monaco's iconic legacy. Over the course of 2 days, the ceremony was held. Immediately after the civil ceremony, a religious service was held in the Palais Princier in Monaco. Guests included members of European royalty, Hollywood celebrities, and members of the media from all over the world. A breathtaking Giorgio Armani private gown was worn by Charlene. The gown was embellished with 40,000 Swarovski crystals and 20,000 mother-of-pearl teardrops by the designer. Throughout the entirety of the event, from the intricate floral arrangements to the magnificent fireworks display that took place over the harbor of Monaco, the image of a royal couple who were destined to be happy was painted. At the very least in public, Charlene and Albert gave off the impression of being the ideal couple. They were charming, elegant, and united in their roles as their respective royal leaders in Monaco. It was only natural that people all over the world would be fascinated by their marriage. Monaco is a geographical location that is synonymous with opulence, glitz, and mystery. Prince Albert had had a reputation for being one of the most eligible bachelors in Europe for many years, due to the fact that he was the son of Prince Rainier III and Grace Kelly, who is widely considered to be one of the most iconic figures of the 20th century. He had always been in the public eye. It felt like the culmination of years of speculation about when and who Albert would marry, and his wedding to Charlene, a professional athlete turned princess, was definitely the culmination of that speculation. During her time at the union, Charlene shared her own personal story. She wasn't your typical bride at all. She was a swimmer who had competed for South Africa at the Olympic Games in Sydney, and she had spent her childhood distant from the glitz and glamour of Monaco's elite. As a result of her natural beauty and charming demeanor, she became a well-liked figure not only in Monaco, but also among people all over the world. Her ascension to the throne of the royal family was the stuff of a contemporary fairy tale. A young lady who comes from a lowly background and eventually marries into one of the most prestigious royal families in the world. Nevertheless, even from the very beginning, there were clear indications that not everything was as perfect as it appeared to be. Even prior to the wedding, there were rumors going around that suggested Princess Charlene was having second thoughts about her decision. There were reports that surfaced, which suggested that Charlene had attempted to flee Monaco just a few days before the ceremony. But she was ultimately convinced, or, as some people claimed, pressured, into continuing with the wedding. According to the palace, these allegations were categorically denied, and they insisted that Charlene was fully committed to her marriage. On the other hand, the rumors instilled a sense of uncertainty regarding the genuine nature of their relationship. Still, the royal couple continued to captivate the attention of people all over the world. In the public eye, Princess Charlene and Prince Albert gave off the impression of being calm and content. They were considered to be the epitome of Monaco's regal allure, with Charlene's beauty and athleticism serving as the ideal complement to Albert's royal lineage. On the surface, the couple appeared to be a perfect royal match on account of the fact that they appeared to have found a balance between their public responsibilities and their private lives. This marriage appeared to be a continuation of the rich legacy that the Principality of Monaco has left behind, both for the people of Monaco and for royal watchers all over the world. As Grace Kelly had done before her, Charlene did the same thing by volunteering for charitable organizations. The radiant smile that she wore gave the impression that she was enjoying her new life as a royal. In their marriage, Albert and Charlene appeared to be well positioned to carry on the royal legacy that Grace and Rainier had started. This would be a new chapter in the history of Monaco, one that would be filled with love, tradition, and accountability. On the other hand, there were growing signs of strain to be found behind the glossy public image. When Princess Charlene attended royal events, she frequently exhibited a demeanor that was reserved and even distant. As a result, rumors began to circulate about how content she was in her marriage. Charlene was frequently seen struggling to adjust to the public scrutiny that came with being a member of one of Europe's most prominent royal families, in contrast to Albert, who appeared to be confident in his role as the Prince of Monaco. Rumors of dissatisfaction within the royal household continued to circulate over the course of the years. In spite of the fact that they continued to present a public appearance of unity, the reality that lay behind the royal glamour was starting to become more apparent. Afterwards, rumors of infidelity and emotional strain began to take the spotlight as the primary concerns. The problems that were going on in their relationship were kept hidden behind closed doors. With the passage of time, it became increasingly difficult to ignore the apparent unhappiness of Princess Charlene. At royal events, she frequently gave off the impression of being solemn or preoccupied. Her body language was frequently observed by various observers. In the beginning, this change was not particularly noticeable. However, as time progressed, it became more noticeable, which fueled speculation about the actual state of her marriage. These subtle cues started to be picked up on by media outlets, which are always eager to uncover secrets that are hidden behind the walls of royal households. Several reports suggested that Princess Charlene was having a difficult time adjusting to her new life as a member of the royal family of Monaco. Prior to marrying into the royal family, Charlene had led a life that was relatively private, in contrast to Prince Albert, who was born and raised in the spotlight of public scrutiny. It seemed as though the transition from being an Olympic athlete to a royal, along with all of the pressures and expectations that came along with it, was a significant burden for her. It was said that Charlene found the royal lifestyle to be suffocating, but this was considered to be a private matter. She appeared to be experiencing a significant amount of emotional strain as a result of the unrelenting royal protocols, the constant attention from the public, and the scrutiny of her every move. What was even more concerning was the fact that there were rumors going around that her relationship with Prince Albert was not even close to being the picture-perfect union that was painted for them. There was a widespread belief among those who were close to the couple that Charlene was deeply dissatisfied with her marriage, but that she felt trapped by the weight of public expectation and the royal responsibilities she underwent. The emotional distance that Princess Charlene maintains during public appearances became a topic of increased coverage in the media in the entire year of 2017. It appeared as though her interactions with Prince Albert were becoming more formal and detached, despite the fact that she continued to carry out her royal duties. It appeared as though the couple, who had previously captivated the public with their apparent affection for one another, was now experiencing tension. There were times when Charlene appeared to be on the verge of melancholy, as if the pressure of preserving the appearance of a perfect marriage had become too much for an individual to bear. When confronted with these obvious indications, the royal family chose to maintain their silence. The palace in Monaco is well known for its respect for the confidentiality of family matters. There were growing rumors of a troubled marriage, but it did little to address those rumors. Despite the fact that various media outlets gave the impression that the couple was not strong and committed to their roles, the official narrative continued to assert that they were. In spite of this, the rumors continued. In addition, most people believed that it was only a matter of time before additional concrete revelations would come to light. Reports from sources close to the royal family that hinted at ongoing tensions within the marriage added fuel to the fire of speculation that was already present. Despite her elevated status, there were those who suggested that Princess Charlene was experiencing feelings of isolation and loneliness. There were also rumors that Prince Albert's demanding schedule and his duties as the ruler of Monaco had contributed to the emotional distance that existed between them. This was another factor that was involved. Despite the fact that Prince Albert continued to be a prominent figure in the public eye, Charlene appeared to be becoming more and more reluctant to be in the spotlight. These rumors had only become more widespread by the year 2020. It was reported by a few news organizations that the couple appeared to be leading largely independent lives. Observers started to raise their eyebrows when Princess Charlene failed to show up for important royal events, and rumors began to circulate that her marriage to Albert was experiencing a great deal of difficulty. The narrative that she was seeking distance from her royal life, and possibly even her husband, was further fueled by her extended absences from Monaco, particularly during her trips to South Africa. Her length of absences from Monaco was particularly noteworthy. There was a gradual decline in the glamorous image of the royal couple of Monaco. A scandal involving cheating, rumors, and revelations emerged. The first significant revelation occurred not long after the couple tied the knot in 2011, when it was reported that Prince Albert might have fathered another child outside of his marriage. These revelations were thought to be a part of Albert's past, despite the fact that he had already publicly acknowledged 2 illegitimate children from previous relationships: Jasmine Grace Grimaldi, who was born in 1992, and Alexandra Coste, who was born in 2003. However, even after the announcement of his engagement to Charlene, rumors continued to circulate that Albert had been unfaithful to Charlene, and that a third child, which was allegedly born during the course of their relationship, was being concealed from public view. There was a lot of speculation about the identity of the mother and the effect that this revelation would have on Princess Charlene, and the headlines that were splashed across the tabloids talked about it. In light of the fact that Charlene's marriage had already been rumored to be experiencing difficulties, the news was disastrous for her. The damage had already been done, despite the fact that the palace disregarded the claims as mere rumors almost immediately. As a result of the cheating scandal, not only had Albert's reputation been damaged, but Charlene's marriage had also been negatively affected. Then, additional information regarding the alleged affairs that Albert had with other women started to come to light. Several women came forward in the years that followed their marriage, claiming that they had had relationships with the prince both before and during his marriage to Charlene. These women claimed that they had dated the prince. These women painted a picture of a man who, despite his royal duties and public persona, had lived a private life that was very different from the fidelity that is expected in a marriage. After the revelations were made public, Princess Charlene's initial response was one of silence. She had long been accustomed to maintaining a composed public image, regardless of what was going on behind closed doors, because she was a member of the royal family of Monaco. Charlene continued to carry out her royal duties in the months that followed the initial cheating scandal. She continued to attend public events and make appearances alongside Albert in carefully staged photo opportunities. On the other hand, her strained expression and distant demeanor were not unnoticed during the conversation. Charlene was reportedly devastated by the revelations, but she kept her feelings to herself. According to sources close to the royal family, she struggled with the humiliation of having their marital problems exposed to the world and felt a profound sense of betrayal as a result of Albert's affair. In a conversation with friends of the princess, Charlene revealed that she had confided in them about the strain that the scandal had placed on her. She described how challenging it had been for her to navigate her new life as a royal, while simultaneously dealing with the allegations that her husband had been having affairs. As the pressure of maintaining a public image in the midst of the cheating scandal became too much for Charlene to bear, there were even reports that she had considered leaving Monaco. when Princess Charlene made several high-profile trips to South Africa in the year 2020, the media attention that was surrounding the cheating scandal reached a fever pitch. In the course of these trips, which were ostensibly for the purpose of charitable work and for reasons related to personal health, rumors began to circulate that Charlene was attempting to distance herself from Monaco and from Albert because of her extended absences from the principality and the fact that she was making fewer and fewer public appearances with her husband. There was a growing amount of speculation that the royal couple was on the verge of breaking up. In response to the increasing scrutiny from the media, the palace in Monaco made an effort to minimize the rumors going around. They insisted that Princess Charlene's trips to South Africa were solely for the purpose of getting better, and that the royal couple remained committed to each other throughout their time together. However, the general public did not appear to be persuaded. The fact that Charlene was conspicuously absent from important royal events, such as the celebrations held in Monaco for National Day, only served to reinforce the notion that the marriage was in perilous circumstances. In the year 2021, the situation reached a critical juncture when Charlene was admitted to a hospital in South Africa due to a severe infection that affected her ear, nose, and throat. There was even more speculation about the state of her marriage as a result of her extended stay in South Africa, which lasted for a number of months. It was reported by various media outlets that Charlene was hesitant to go back to Monaco, and some of them even asserted that she had confided in her friends about her desire to leave Albert permanently. Taking into account these reports in conjunction with the persistent rumors that Albert had been unfaithful, a picture emerged of a marriage that was on the verge of disintegrating. Throughout this time period, Prince Albert never wavered from his public demonstration of support for his wife, and he denied on multiple occasions that their marriage was experiencing difficulties. The allegations of cheating were dismissed by him as baseless gossip, and he insisted that Charlene's absence was solely due to health issues. On the other hand, the tension that existed between the couple was clear. In late 2021, when Charlene did finally make her way back to Monaco, she gave off the impression of being visibly fragile and emotionally drained. Although statements were released by the palace assuring the public that she was making progress in her recovery, it was evident that the toll of the cheating scandal, in addition to the difficulties she was experiencing with her health, had left an indelible mark on the princess. The difficulties, health problems, and emotional upheaval that Princess Charlene is experiencing. During her trip to South Africa at the beginning of 2021, Charlene's health problems were brought to light for the first time. On the surface, the trip appeared to be nothing more than a routine visit. However, it became immediately apparent that Charlene was dealing with significant health issues, due to the fact that she was diagnosed with a severe infection of the ear, nose, and throat, which necessitated multiple surgical procedures. She was unable to travel back to Monaco for a period of several months. Throughout the course of her extended stay in South Africa, Charlene was admitted to the hospital on multiple occasions, and her recovery was a sluggish and difficult process. Many people began to speculate that there was more to the story, despite the fact that the palace insisted that her absence was solely due to health reasons. Concerns were raised about the genuine condition of Charlene's marriage as a result of her extended absence from her family, which occurred within the context of a particularly trying period. When all was said and done, it was not the first time that the princess had been away from Monaco for a considerable amount of time. The persistent rumors of Prince Albert's infidelity, along with the reports of her dissatisfaction in the royal household, led many people to believe that the emotional turmoil she was experiencing behind the scenes was making her physical health struggles even more difficult to manage. It was revealed by sources close to the royal family that Charlene had been profoundly impacted by the rumors that circulated about Albert's extramarital affairs, specifically the allegations that he had fathered yet another child who was not his legitimate offspring. A woman who was already having trouble finding her footing in a high-pressure royal role felt as though she had been dealt a crushing blow when the public revelations of infidelity were made public. Charlene, who had always kept a respectful silence regarding her personal life, found herself at the center of a media storm, with every aspect of her marriage being scrutinized. Charlene's marriage was the subject of these investigations. During the brief visits that she did make to Monaco, she appeared to be in a state of obvious weakness. The once self-assured and athletic princess appeared fragile now, with many people remarking that her once radiant smile had almost completely vanished. As a result of the weight of her personal struggles, the woman who had once had the ability to captivate the world with her grace and poise appeared to be overwhelmed. In addition, the emotional turmoil that Charlene was experiencing had a significant impact on the role that she played within the royal family of Monaco. As the number of times she appeared in public decreased, the palace was compelled to minimize her absence during this time. But it was obvious to those who were observing that Charlene was having a hard time coping. It was reported that Charlene had a difficult time confiding in those who were associated with her behind closed doors. According to the sources, she experienced feelings of isolation. As a result of the emotional strain caused by the scandal and the extended periods of time that she was separated from Prince Albert, she began to feel an increasing sense of disconnection from her role as the Princess of Monaco. The time that Charlene spent away from Monaco seemed to highlight the growing distance that existed between her and Albert, despite the fact that she had the support of her close friends and family in South Africa. The health and emotional well-being of Princess Charlene became a topic of widespread concern as the months continued to drag on. There were many people who questioned whether or not she would be able to fully return to her royal duties, despite the fact that the palace continued to issue statements about her recovery. The number of times she appeared in public had significantly decreased. By the time the year 2021 came to a close, it was abundantly clear that Princess Charlene's struggles were not done with. Due to the fact that she was experiencing health problems as well as emotional turmoil as a result of the cheating scandal, she found herself in a precarious position. The reappearance of Princess Charlene prior to the public eye. In late 2021, Princess Charlene made a return to public life that was not only quiet but also noticeable. This came after she had been absent from the public eye for several months. A meticulous plan was put into place for her return. In an effort to put an end to the rumors and reassure the general public about her health and well-being, officials from the palace issued a series of public statements. For the purpose of being reunited with her family, Princess Charlene has made her way back to Monaco, according to the statement. The principality will be the location where she will continue her recovery with the assistance of her loved ones. When Charlene made her first appearance in public, people's reactions were a mixture of relief and concern. During her first official engagement, which consisted of a visit to a local children's charity, Charlene was noticeably quieter than she had been in the past, and her interaction with the general public was more reserved than it originally had been. Nevertheless, her return was regarded as a positive step, as it demonstrated that she was determined to resume her role as Monaco's princess, despite the difficulties she had been experiencing since her departure. The process of re-establishing her reputation was not a simple procedure. A void of speculation had been left behind as a result of her absence, and it was filled with rumors about the condition of her marriage. Therefore, her return to public life was not solely about resuming her duties as a member of the royal family. It was about reminding the world that she was still Monaco's princess, despite the scandal and the struggles that she had survived. It was about reclaiming her position within the public consciousness. As soon as Charlene got back, she immediately got back into her charitable work, which was one of her first initiatives. Her commitment to causes such as the welfare of children, sports, and the conservation of wildlife had won her the affection of the general public prior to her absence, and it was through this work that she attempted to re-establish her connection with the people of Monaco. In the course of conducting interviews with individuals who were close to her, it became abundantly clear that Charlene regarded her charitable endeavors as a means not only of carrying out her royal responsibilities, but also of regaining a sense of purpose and strength following such a challenging time. It was a difficult balancing act for Charlene to make her way back into public life. The first thing she did was try to give the impression that she was able to bounce back from the scandal and the health problems that she was experiencing. She wanted to show that she was still dedicated to her role as the Princess of Monaco. On the other hand, it was indisputable that she was still in the process of recuperating from the emotional toll that occurred over the course of the previous few years. Charlene's subdued demeanor throughout many of her public appearances spoke volumes, reflecting the weight of her personal struggles, even as she resumed her duties. This was the case even though she came back to work. When Charlene began to re-establish her presence in Monaco, it became abundantly clear that the public continued to show a significant amount of support for her. Charlene was admired by many people for her poise in the face of pressure and her determination to move on with her life. Despite the fact that the scandal that surrounded Prince Albert's alleged extramarital affairs had dominated the headlines for several months, she became the Princess of Monaco, and this event marked the beginning of a new chapter in her life. This has an effect on the monarchy. A long shadow has been cast over the royal family of Monaco as a result of the scandal that surrounded Prince Albert's alleged extramarital affairs and Princess Charlene's extended absence. Monaco, which is well known for its glamorous image and reputation, has always placed a significant amount of reliance on the public personas of its royals in order to consistently present a favorable image on the international stage. Since the beginning of time, the leadership of the principality, and more specifically the Grimaldi family, has been a representation of wealth, power, and luxury. This carefully cultivated image, however, was put under a tremendous amount of strain as a result of the unfolding scandal, which forced Prince Albert and the entire royal family to come under intense scrutiny from the public. One of the most important aspects of the problem was the pressure that was being put on Prince Albert to ensure that Monaco's monarchy remained stable and respected. Albert had always been regarded as a figurehead of both leadership and tradition, due to the fact that he was the ruler of one of the nations that was smaller but wealthier than any other nation in the world. It was intended that his marriage to Princess Charlene would strengthen the image of a powerful and unified royal family throughout the world. However, as a result of the allegations of cheating, the rumors of illegitimate children, and Charlene's health battles dominating headlines, Albert's personal life became a significant liability to the reputation of the royal family. It didn't take long for the scandal to have a negative impact on Prince Albert's reputation, both within Monaco and beyond. In spite of the fact that he made a great number of public appearances during Charlene's absence, his function as a husband and a monarch was constantly called into question. As a public figure and as the head of Monaco's royal family, Albert is under a great deal of pressure to address the rumors that have been circulating about the state of their marriage. When combined with the ongoing allegations of cheating, these rumors have become increasingly prevalent. It was not just his personal reputation that was affected by the scandal. It had far-reaching consequences for Prince Albert. The monarchy of Monaco, despite the fact that it is not political in nature, plays an essential part in ensuring that the principality continues to keep its global allure and economic power. One of the most important aspects of Monaco's identity is the royal family, which has a long history of being connected to notable individuals such as Grace Kelly and Prince Rainier III. Not only does any scandal that involves the royal family threaten their personal standing, but it also threatens the reputation of the country on the international stage. Monaco's ability to project an image of a glamorous and scandal-free royal family is a significant factor in the country's ability to attract international attention and investment. That being the case, the affair, as well as the subsequent scrutiny of Albert's private life, posed a challenge for the entire monarchy. A scandal in Monaco has raised concerns among the business and political communities about its impact on the principality's reputation and its ability to attract tourists and investors. Princess Charlene's prolonged absence from public life fueled speculation about her role in the royal family and the monarchy's stability, especially as Prince Albert faced scrutiny over alleged affairs. Charlene's absence left a void, as she had been a prominent figure in the royal family's charitable efforts. Her situation drew international attention, questioning the monarchy's integrity and Monaco's carefully curated image. Despite the challenges, Prince Albert made efforts to project stability through public appearances and his work in diplomacy and environmental conservation. Charlene's resilience amid these challenges has garnered respect, reshaping her image from a glamorous figurehead to a multifaceted individual navigating immense personal and public pressure. This shift opens the possibility of her carving a new role within the monarchy, focusing on causes she values. Her future likely hinges on balancing personal well-being with public duties. Whether Charlene remains a central royal figure or steps back, her perseverance defines her legacy, making her a symbol of strength and endurance in the face of adversity. As the royal family of Monaco looks to the future, it is likely that Charlene's path will reflect her unwavering commitment to her role, her family, and the people who have been there for her through everything. Are you of the opinion that this was merely a speed bump? Is the royal couple in a particularly precarious situation? Leave a comment below and tell us what you think about this. We would be thrilled to hear it. For the time being, we are no longer in this location. I will see you in the following video.